Hello everyone and welcome back to A Legionary's Life. We're in the middle of the African campaign and laying or giving death to the Carthaginians pretty much. Let's continue. The huge combined force that threatened to take you down is no more. Their losses number in the tens of thousands. Asdrubal and Syphax are not among the prisoners. At first, they are believed to have died in the fires, but soon you're hearing persistent rumors claiming that they are both still alive. Many spoils are salvaged from the ruins of the camps. As always, everybody gets his share. The important-looking man you captured, turns out to be a senator of Carthage. Your leaders are very pleased with such a high-profile hostage. Ooh. You have dealt a severe blow to Carthage. The end of the war is getting near. In recognition of your efforts and achievements, you have been promoted to Optio. Nice. So, as Optio, we are second in command of your century. In battle, you keep in line the rear of your maniple and will take the centurion's place at the front when needed. Very good, very good. Happy that the proconsul likes me as well. Let's see, because we do have quite a bit of coin now. Marcus Alphanus is a lazy and undisciplined soldier. The careless and neglectful way in which he performs his duties has already caused troubles in the past, but his family ties with the centurion make sure he always gets away with it. The situation can no longer be tolerated. Confront the centurion in public. Confront the centurion but do it in private. Let it go. Let's do it in private. You approach the centurion at the first opportunity and explain your concerns that his partiality might encourage resentment and lacks discipline among the rest of the soldiers. Your virtue has increased by 5. Fail charisma check. Wow. He refuses to heed you and reminds you to respect the chain of command. You try to suppress the frustration, but there's nothing you can do. I thought I was doing pretty well with those checks, but apparently I'm not. About that chainmail, that's pretty decent actually. But I don't have the 93 cash. What if I sell that? That's 12. Maybe I'll get a bit of cash later. At the very least, I can do extra coaching now. Okay. Let's do one of these again, I suppose. They're all out there. Okay. We have to go through the mountains. To be honest, it hasn't seemed that these missions get easier the more the centurion likes you. Okay, we haven't been able to catch fish. It doesn't seem to be so. Whenever these are the same, I am inclined to just skip them. The events, especially if I've already passed the check. If I haven't done so yet, then I might actually show it off, like what failing it is. Although I did forget that with the fishing, but yeah, I will try to show it off at least. Alright, well. Not much time here. Let's also try the javelin a bit. Probably can't hurt. Wow. Asdrubal has managed to convince Syphax not to give up on the war effort. With a display of enviable tenacity, he has also raised another levy of soldiers. More interestingly, they were joined by 4,000 battle-seasoned South-Siberian mercenaries. Once again, Scipio leads you away from the city of Attica, leaving enough forces behind to maintain the ongoing siege. You come in sight of the enemy within days. You make a camp on a hill a few miles from theirs. Save for the Celtiberian Scutari, you're not worried about what is to come. Nobody doubts that at the end of the upcoming battle, Carthage will be one step closer to capitulation. Yeah, maybe. You can volunteer to scout the surrounding area if you wish. Let's do so. You leave the camp with Publius Arius. Your introspective mate doesn't talk much. You meet nothing noteworthy, apart from the occasional bit of local fauna. You're emerging from a patch of undergrowth when you see a Carthaginian soldier across a shallow brook right in front of you. He looks very young and nervous. He winces the moment he sees you and takes a couple of steps back. Two more about 30 steps behind him. They must be part of Hasdrubal's most recent levy. You can challenge him to a duel or scare him off with the display of your swordsmanship. Let's do that. Weapon check. Pass. It is enough to break his nerve. He drops his round shield and runs away. His two fellows imitate him almost immediately. Arius grins and gives you a pat on the back. Virtue has increased and opinion has increased by 3 as well. You return to your camp and report what you saw. It's time to get some rest. The next day, a large skirmish flares up when Scipio leads the cavalry to harry the Punics and their allies. At first, you're holding the ground in support of the more mobile forces, but chaos ensues as the enemy launches a counterstrike. Light infantry is harassing your left flank, pinning you down. Ahead to your right, you notice a group of retreating Velites. They are in serious trouble. One of them lies on the ground, a grievous leg wound preventing him from fleeing. 2 of his companions are desperately trying to hold off 5 Numidian foot soldiers. Velites are skirmishers, poorly equipped for hand-to-hand combat. They're about to succumb. Leave the formation and run. You cover the short distance as fast as you can. The Numidians shift their attention to you. Uh-oh. Okay, this doesn't seem too bad. Let's throw the javelin. Oh, they just got a double attack in as well. Nice. That's real nice. Third attack, okay. Fine. I can handle that. That does pretty much mean I need to stay in the back, because there's no way I can do something about that. Let's change the attitude for a little bit. How about these attacks? Not the best. They would be quite good at protecting themselves, but the knock has a very low chance of succeeding, even with this attitude. And I don't actually want to get into... No, let's just go for a quick feint here, because they might just try to recover there. Yeah, this is getting very problematic. I just have to lose morale, because I really can't stay up to the front here against 3 of those guys. And I'm nearly dead. Wonder when... Yeah. This is bad. I'm losing morale fast as well. If they miss, at the very least, there's a round of recovery. And they're gonna try again. Alright, very happy with that. I don't have even the slightest chance of actually killing them. But they're getting tired. So that works. If I need to kill them, I'll be in trouble. Alright, let's try quick feint on them. And let's give him a good whack on the head. And I'm dead. Well, it can happen that fast. Alright. And there's my score, 410. For a first run, I guess it's not that bad. It took a while to get through all of that. Yeah, let's keep going then. I guess we died in this battle. That's okay. That's what I said before, and we can see that you know, my name here in the Hall of Fame at the top. It does seem interesting that this virtue bar is here. I wonder why. If I go for a new game here, then I will indeed be able to add points to my character. What I will do from now on is I will skip through the parts that I've already talked over. So if there's dialogue that I've already gone through, I will go and skip those parts. If there is a part of the story that I skipped previously, I will go over that, and I will quickly discuss, you know, what's going on. I will still show off the content which I'm going through faster. Even things like battles, if there is a different outcome, I will go through that and show it off. But even the battles, I will do very little commentary unless there is something very eventful going on. Yeah, and I will still list the different outcomes that I get down in the comments below, so you can still see there, you know, what if there are any new outcomes. So if the old outcomes, if it's exactly the same, I will not list it, but I will list it when I get different outcomes to old events. So if you would have seen that in the second episode I failed a certain check, but I did pass it through this time around, I will list that below and show it off. So if you're looking for a very specific event or very specific path, you can find that in the description below if this is a new path that I've discovered this time around. Let's start with a new game, and once again I'm just gonna roll it, and well, after that first time I guess I can just keep rolling again, and this time just to get a good outcome compared to, you know, everything. This is really good except for strength, but I can work on that. The rest is really good here, so I'll accept this character. We do need a new name, and I guess for the first time I could just change the name around. So just do it like this. Perfect. That's a great name. Like I said, we can now actually put points into our character. Let's just go over this here first. You can improve your newly created character by spending points. Your points are based partly on the average score of your Hall of Fame entries and partly on your best entry. The former is determined as if the Hall of Fame contained 20 elements, even when there are less. And it is then multiplied by a coefficient that depends on the Hall of Fame fill ratio. So the more entries you have, even with 0 points, the better. Okay, fair enough. You can improve your character's attributes, skills, and starting equipment. Yeah. Then when we're done, when you're satisfied, you can accept the enhancements and move on to the next phase. So not only can we raise our attributes, but we have also 2 skills. First of all, natural swordsman. These enhancements make you an exceptionally talented swordsman. If selected, you'll start the game with a sword skill value of 36 instead of the usual 29. Even more importantly, your chance of successfully training your sword skill will be twice as much as normal. Aegis embodiment. These enhancements make you an exceptionally talented shield user. If selected, you'll start the game with a shield skill value of 36 instead of the usual 29. Even more importantly, your chance of successfully training your shield skill will be twice as much as normal. Well, these cost too much, so I can't actually buy them yet. Now, as for these, as a starting weapon in my second run, what you can see here that I can actually get some better swords already right from the get-go. And that's pretty neat. With that 216... yeah, this one is really a lot better. Technically, this one costs pretty much about 70 denarii at the start of the game. So I guess for a first one, I don't mind spending it on this. As for a helmet, the difference between these two is a lot less prominent. But for the regular armor, like doing this, bag and breastplate is 50 torso, but it's also just not that much difference. I mean, the short chainmail is really good to get at the start, but it costs 1,000 points, so that's a lot. This one also not too important here. So I guess I left off just putting a lot in strength here, just a few, and then I can also coordination, that's okay. Let's raise awareness by 1. And just in general, getting higher endurance is also pretty nice because it indeed gets your HP up. Alright, so we actually improved our character already quite a bit. We have much higher stats than we did the first time around. And then also we start out with a slightly better sword. So for a second entry, I think that's already pretty good. No, I don't want to continue because with the points left, we can actually increase the amount of cash that we start with, which is also not that bad. All right, let's get started then. And like I said, you know, I will skip over quite a few things here. We start out at the camp and already, you know, we can start doing things. Again, with the skills, I am going to be spending Alright, so here we have the intelligence check for the owl event. This time passing it instead of missing it. So if you miss it, you say, okay, well, the owl is a bad omen and we're going to lose some morale. If you pass the owl event check with intelligence, it's just an owl. With relief, you go back to your post. So, after killing the militiamen on the top of the walls, the first time we chose the pity in order to raise our virtue. This time I'm going to choose elation. After surviving yet another clash, you feel exhilarated with a sense of invincibility. And this time our morale increases instead of our virtue. Only the most experienced legionaries are volunteering. No one would blame you if you backed off. This is the time where we get to volunteer to attack the mercenaries. And last time I took such a big hit that I decided not to pursue this because I had only 10 health points left. This time I'm gonna volunteer. You step forward, taking your place among the other volunteers. Opinion troop, centurion, and proconsul increased. Your newly assembled force makes its way to the citadel. The mercenaries are waiting for you in the open. Numbers are on your side, but they have the high ground. When the other side is at the right distance, you prepare to hurl your first javelin. And we're fighting against Garrison Mercenary. Especially for this early in the game and not having that much extra attributes, I think it's probably best to try to maintain a neutral to defensive attitude. I don't actively want to engage these guys, but rather I want to keep defending and try to stay alive in order to get through this battle unscathed. You don't have to defeat these guys. You only need to hold out for a period of time and then you'll be rotated, etc. So that's exactly what I'll try to do. You can see already even now here, even with a very aggressive attitude and them already losing some stands, I have a less than 50% chance to get a quick feint in on them. And I just don't want to take any risk here. So a battle like this will become quite uneventful, so that's why from now I'm just gonna go and skip through this. It's a battle like any others, really. We've been able to get through the battle with, well, minimal damage. So eventually the enemy formation starts breaking apart. Very soon panic spreads as their wavering turns into a rout. And we didn't even get close to being able to damage any of these guys. At last, the hopelessness of their predicament prevails. The mercenaries are surrendering. New Carthage has fallen for the first time in so many years. This just happens, you receive your share of the loot, your role in the Citadel assault is rewarded, and we have gained 100 denarii. That's what you get for defeating, or, defeating those mercenaries. But also for joining up, you get a very high opinion with Centurion and Proconsul, so that's also very nice. And in recognition of your efforts and achievements, you've been promoted to Tesserarius a bit earlier than before, because we partook in the fight against the the mercenaries there. So we're back at the camp. I'm gonna end the video here, so I want to thank you for watching this part. Do hope you enjoyed it. I'll continue in the next one, and like I said, once again, I will probably go and skip through all the different various parts that we've already done. I will list below the events that are gone differently, that suddenly go better, etc, etc. Thanks for watching. Do hope you enjoyed it. Take care. Bye bye.